That glass of orange juice your server just set down cost the restaurant 9 cents. You paid $12 for the word fresh. Not for oranges, not for a juicer, not for the labor of squeezing anything. 9 cents. And the glass isn't even close to what the menu says it is. Here's how the math works. A gallon of frozen concentrated orange juice, the industrial stuff, bought by the drum, costs restaurants somewhere between $3 and $4 wholesale. 1 gallon of concentrate makes roughly 4 to 5 gallons of finished juice once you reconstitute it with water. That brings the cost of a single 8-ounce glass down to somewhere between 7 and 12 cents. 9 cents is the middle of that range. That's your number. Now here's where it gets interesting. The menu said fresh squeezed, not freshly prepared, not made in-house from juice. Fresh squeezed. Those two words legally imply an orange was cut and pressed, usually that morning. They also imply a price premium that the industry has quietly standardized around $12 in major cities. And nobody bats an eye because the glass looks right. The glass looks right because the product was engineered to look right. Concentrate manufacturers add back what processing strips out. Color compounds, aroma molecules called flavor packs, even a calibrated level of pulp. The pulp is the tell. Restaurants that use concentrate will often add a spoonful of pulp back in, because pulp means fresh in the mind of the customer. It's theater, expensive theater. Follow the money upstream, and it gets more layered. Most commercial orange juice, concentrate or otherwise, flows through 2 companies, Tropicana and Minute Maid, which is owned by Coca-Cola. Together, they process the overwhelming majority of Florida and Brazilian orange output. The orange market is not a bucolic grove operation. It is a commodity futures market, a cold chain logistics network, and a flavor engineering industry, all disguised as breakfast. Brazil is the detail most people miss. About half of the orange juice Americans drink, including the Florida fresh stuff, starts as Brazilian concentrate, shipped across the Atlantic in refrigerated tankers, then blended with domestic juice, de-aromatized, reflavored, and packaged in a way that is technically legal to call pure and 100% juice. The FDA allows this. The label does not mention the tanker. The flavor pack system is the part the industry really doesn't advertise. When you pasteurize and store orange juice at scale, it loses almost all of its aroma, the compounds that make it taste like an orange. So manufacturers hire flavor companies, the same ones that make artificial flavors, to reconstruct the aroma from orange byproducts and add it back in. This is legal. It is also never listed on the label because the ingredients technically come from oranges. Back to your brunch table. The restaurant's margin on that glass is somewhere around 92 to 95%. For context, a glass of house wine, already considered a high-margin item, runs closer to 70% margin. OJ beats wine. OJ beats sparkling water. OJ is quietly one of the highest margin items on any brunch menu, which is exactly why it appears on every brunch menu, and why your server asks if you'd like a glass before you've even opened the menu. The fresh squeezed language is where the legal line gets blurry. The FDA regulates juice labeling at the retail level, cartons you buy in a grocery store. But restaurant menus operate under different rules, which vary by state and are rarely enforced at the menu description level. A restaurant can call reconstituted concentrate fresh squeezed, and the realistic chance of any consequence is essentially zero. The only enforcement mechanism is you finding out and not coming back, which most people never do. Some restaurants do squeeze fresh. It takes a commercial juicer, a prep cook's time, real oranges at retail or wholesale produce prices, and yields a product with a shelf life measured in hours. Real fresh squeezed at a restaurant costs the kitchen somewhere between $1 and $2 a glass when you factor in labor and waste. That juice has a different flavor, brighter, more bitter at the edges, not perfectly uniform. If yours tastes like a carton, it probably came from one. Here's what you can actually do with this. First, ask. A straightforward, "Is this freshly squeezed or reconstituted juice?" Puts the server in a position where they have to either tell the truth or actively lie to your face. Most will tell the truth. Second, notice the price gap. If a restaurant charges $8 for fresh squeezed and $15 for a Bloody Mary, the OJ cost them the same 9 cents and the Bloody Mary cost them real ingredients. Third, at that price point, order the coffee. The margin's still brutal, but at least the bean was real. The deeper thing here isn't really about orange juice. It's about the word fresh as a pricing mechanism. Fresh means unprocessed, immediate, honest. The food industry figured out decades ago that fresh on a label or a menu adds somewhere between 20 and 40% to what a customer will pay, without adding 20 to 40% to what it cost to make. So fresh became a design decision, not a culinary one. The orange was squeezed. It was just squeezed in Brazil 2 years ago into a frozen drum. And that's the point.